My name is Lauren Bell, and when I was 19 years old, my parents taught me a lesson I never wanted to learn. They looked me in the eyes and said, "Your brother needs this more than you do. You'll figure something out. You always do." Those words hurt more than what happened next. Because that same afternoon, I discovered every dollar I had spent 4 years saving for college was gone. I remember standing in the kitchen holding my bank statement with shaking hands. Nearly $15,000 had disappeared overnight. At first, I thought someone had hacked my account. They hadn't. My father calmly admitted they had convinced me to make them joint owners years earlier, just in case of emergencies. Apparently, my future wasn't an emergency. My older brother Ryan had started another business that had already failed before it even opened. He needed money immediately, and my parents decided my education could wait. I asked one question. What about my future? My mother didn't even hesitate. Family comes first. I looked at Ryan, hoping he'd stop them. Instead, he smiled and said, "You'll earn it back. You're smarter than me." That was the moment something inside me broke. Not because they stole my savings. Because everyone in that room believed I would simply accept it. When I refused, my father placed my suitcase beside the front door. "If you're going to keep making this difficult," he said quietly, "maybe you should find somewhere else to live." I walked out carrying one suitcase and the feeling that I had never truly belonged. No one followed me. No one called. No one even asked if I was safe. For 7 years, I built my life one small step at a time. I cleaned offices before sunrise, waited tables at night, earned scholarships, and eventually graduated as a physical therapist. There were nights I cried from exhaustion. There were mornings I questioned whether I was strong enough. But every obstacle reminded me of one thing. No one was coming to save me. So I saved myself. Eventually I bought a small townhouse, adopted an old rescue dog named Charlie, and for the first time in my life, my home felt peaceful. Then one rainy evening, my phone rang. It was my mother. 7 years of silence disappeared with 3 simple words. "Lauren, we need you." Not "we miss you." Not "we're sorry." Just "we need you." Something told me not to rush over. Instead, I started asking questions. The answers came from someone else. My aunt finally told me everything. Ryan's business had failed again. He had buried himself in debt. His wife had left him months earlier, leaving behind their 8-year-old son, Noah. While Ryan spent most nights drinking and disappearing with friends, Noah was often left alone. Teachers noticed he came to school hungry. Neighbors had started calling the police. Child Protective Services had opened an investigation. Suddenly everything made sense. My family didn't call because they loved me. They called because I had something they needed. A stable home. A respected career. A clean background. My parents wanted me to tell Child Protective Services that Noah already lived with me. Just enough to make the investigation disappear. After that, they planned to bring him right back home. I sat in my car for almost an hour. I kept hearing the same sentence from years ago. "You always figure things out." This time, I finally understood. They never saw my strength as something to admire. They saw it as something they could use. The next morning, I called the caseworker myself. I told her everything I knew. Then I said something I never expected to say. "If Noah needs a safe place, my home is open." The process wasn't easy. There were interviews, paperwork, inspections, and difficult conversations. Then Noah came to stay for a weekend. He barely unpacked. Instead, he placed a small duffel bag beside the front door. I asked why. He looked down and whispered, "It's easier if I'm ready when people don't want me anymore." My heart shattered. Because years earlier, I had stood beside another door holding my own suitcase. No child should grow up expecting to be abandoned. That night I promised myself one thing. No matter what happened, Noah would never wonder whether he was wanted again. Months later, we stood inside a courtroom. My parents cried. Ryan blamed everyone except himself. They called me selfish. They said I was tearing the family apart. For the first time in my life, I didn't argue. I simply told the judge the truth. Love isn't something you say. It's something you prove. After reviewing every report, the judge granted me permanent guardianship of Noah. The courtroom became completely silent. As we walked outside, Noah slipped his small hand into mine. Then he asked the question that still brings tears to my eyes. "So, I get to stay?" I smiled and squeezed his hand. "As long as you want." Years have passed since that day. Noah is now a confident teenager who laughs loudly, dreams big, and never worries about being left behind. That old duffel bag still sits in his closet. But now it's packed with basketball shoes, snacks, and clothes for weekend tournaments instead of emergency supplies. Sometimes healing begins with one person refusing to continue the same painful story. People will call you the strong one because they expect you to carry everyone else's burdens. Real strength isn't carrying people who refuse to change. Real strength is protecting those who never deserved to be hurt in the first place. If this story touched your heart, tell us in the comments. Have you ever been the person everyone expected to sacrifice while no one asked how you were feeling? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more emotional family stories about betrayal, hope, courage, and finding the strength to choose yourself. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next story.